laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared bad intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain. They're laundering disinfo and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice or vote. Oh, information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origin seems slightly less atrocious.
All hail our new Supreme Commander, Homeland Security, Disinformation, Ministry of Truth Czar, a lady that the New York Post has been calling Scary Poppins. That was your 2 minutes of hate. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Radowski here of wearechange.org, and there's a lot of crazy information to get into today. As of course, things on Twitter are getting hot and intense between Elon Musk and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This as there's a new sheriff in town that's going to be, quote, laying down the law. All of this as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Tulsi Gabbard are fighting back for, the archaic old ideas of free speech and liberty. I don't know if you've forgotten about those, but those are important. All the while, there is major financial calamity here at home in the United States, which, of course, the corporate media covering it up. Lots to talk about, so we're just going to jump right into it, as, of course, we wanted to highlight a fellow CNBC news report that came out over a year ago talking about how creating an extremely huge, enormous amount of money will somehow not cause inflation with their genius high IQ piece that should have been called out for disinformation and propaganda by YouTube but hasn't, called Why Printing Trillions of Dollars May Not Cause Inflation. This was a year ago as we're facing record high inflations, and even CNBC is now reporting that the prices of commonly household items has risen so much that consumers are literally asking themselves what can they live without, as they document the major spending habits that have been changing in the United States because of the record amount of inflation and destruction of our financial future that has happened, which they aided and abetted throughout every step of the way, as of course they do the bidding of the money printers and the plutocrats that literally think that money grows on trees. It doesn't. And even if it did, there still wouldn't be enough trees to fulfill the ever so crazy demand and thirst by government bureaucrats to waste your money on government policies, programs, restrictions, mandates, lockdowns, and regulations that, of course, restrict the free flow of capital. Almost everything the government has been doing has been a complete waste of money that you're paying for in more ways than one, not just with your taxes, but with one of the largest taxes on the general public that no one really likes to talk about, and that, of course, is the tax of inflation. Your money sitting there underneath, let's just say your bed, is literally losing value, literally being eviscerated when it comes to its purchasing power because of the record amount of printing that the U.S. Federal Reserve is doing. Now, as CNBC talks about how most Americans are finding it more and more difficult to live an average life, to even afford to be able to live life like they previously did before, others are warning about food insecurity, as within just the last 2 months, we had more than 20 major food processing plants here in the United States burn down. 2 of them by accidental, quote, plane crash, leaving a lot of people asking what's really going on here with this huge uptick of cases. Is this sabotage? Is this insurance fraud? Is this a larger coordinated effort? Well, who in the world knows? This, as the war in Ukraine and current ongoing lockdown of Shanghai are promising more instability on the world economic stage, as the lockdowns and forced starvation of the people of Shanghai still continues and shows you how fast and bad things could really get, as I think it's very fair to say that financially, economically, and socially, Our luxuries are something that we should absolutely cherish because they could be taken away at any moment. And with global supply chains in question, don't forget to get your shirts, as you still can, on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Cheesy plug, I had to do it, and I want to do it. These shirts are incredible. They're amazing. They're a very effective, quick, cheap way of getting important messages out there to the general public to show people where you stand, that they are not alone, that there's other like-minded, free thinkers out there that are not afraid to express themselves. This is your way of doing activism in an extremely lazy and convenient way. All you have to do, wear a t-shirt, meet like-minded friends, individuals, strangers. This is the perfect way to do them. We just released our Free as a Bird shirt, and one of my favorites, BillGatesMeet.com shirt. That's an actual website that we have, that we started, that you could go to right now, where you could exclusively see this shirt, BillGatesMeet.com. And we have a lot of shirts, even some secret shirts that you can only get through memberships. And by doing so, you support this independent media broadcast. You help us grow, you help us expand, and you also probably will be very entertained by our huge catalog of politically incorrect shirts that are definitely going to make you chuckle and laugh. We release new shirts almost every single week, and there's some shirts too spicy to even show here on this broadcast. Get them while supplies last, and before society totally collapses. I'm saying that facetiously, but with the way that things have been going, who in the hell knows? Especially with our ability to even tell you about these shirts, especially with the latest news from the Department of Homeland Security appointing a new law enforcement agent with the full might of its investigative, police, and military powers as the new disinformation board, which of course many people have labeled as of course the Biden administration's latest ministry of truth. Now I do have to say it's very telling to see this latest announcement from the Biden administration right on the heels of the news of Elon Musk acquiring Twitter. This as more and more people, including famous leftists like Bill Maher, have becoming more and more vocal about free speech, the importance of it, and how Twitter has absolutely failed us as it's becoming more and more unavoidable to how absolutely biased, discriminatory, and partisan the big tech social media platform has become. As it's important to note here that a lot of these decisions when it comes to what the public can and cannot hear, when it comes to, the news, politics, or any kind of discussion, came from Twitter's censorship czar, Victoria Gotti, who actually is being paid $17 million per year, who there are reports of breaking down and crying after finding out that Elon Musk actually purchased the company. A lot of people are speculating that she cried because of what could potentially be uncovered in light of congressional testimony, which a lot of people have been calling out as outright lies. Now, Elon Musk has not been shying away from the controversy, even just a few hours ago tweeting out a cartoon representing his larger political viewpoints that have changed from 2008, 2012, and 2021, specifically detailing how people on the left, which he was, according to his cartoon, ran off and went to a very far political direction, which throughout the years has shifted Elon Musk from being on the left towards being to the center, and now moving closely to the right, ever since the left, of course, started attacking everything that is not woke, progressive, and follows their strict agenda and narrative dialogue that they read like it's a script. And I think Elon Musk made a very important point here, representing politically where a lot of Americans are finding themselves on the opposite ends of individuals like AOC, a congresswoman that has been pushing for far leftist ideas. And that's why a lot of people are speculating this is why AOC publicly attacked Elon Musk after this cartoon, specifically blasting billionaires with, quote, ego problems that, quote, unilaterally control massive communication platforms, which was a very meme-worthy exchange, as of course Elon Musk responded to this larger attack by saying, quote, "Stop hitting on me, I'm really shy," making, of course, a reference to when AOC decided to go to Florida, not wear any masks, as of course she publicly attacked Florida for not having mask mandates. She was heavily criticized for this obvious clear show of hypocrisy, which she responded to saying that her critics, specifically Republicans, are only criticizing her because they, quote, want to date me. And it looks like Elon Musk used the same AOC defense when it came to her attacking Elon Musk, which was pretty hilarious, especially since she's complaining about a billionaire having all of this money to buy a social media platform, which of course she enabled by buying his products. As of course AOC is known for driving a Tesla and parking it in outside her bougie neighborhoods, outside of a Whole Food, parking it illegally on top of all of that. But she's a government bureaucrat. She just gets away with it. And as some people are smelling romance in the air between AOC and Elon Musk, it's important to note here that these unaccountable bureaucrats that are spending your money, that are taxing you, regulating you, so you have no financial prosperity, don't get questioned, don't get ridiculed, don't face criticism like Elon Musk, who decided to buy a company. A lot of people are asking, why didn't he decide to end world hunger with that money? Well, again, he's a private individual who bought a private company. The government there is a public agency that has public money, a crap ton of it, and they venture on projects that literally spend trillions of dollars bombing and destroying areas like Afghanistan in order to get rid of the Taliban and replacing them with the Taliban, while of course giving them fully automatic weapons, taking a break from their Fast and Furious program, which of course was under the Barack Obama presidency, which sent arms and fully automatic machine guns down to Mexico. Yeah, it seems to me if we're going to be holding anyone accountable, it should be this large swap of bureaucratic Beckies hyperinflating the dollar, getting rid of its purchasing power, that could be doing something good with it, but are absolutely doing the opposite of it. Elon Musk is the main problem. Why? Because he's promising freedom of speech. Freedom of speech that is extremely dangerous to an administration and an empire built on lies, since, of course, if people find out the truth of what they're doing, they wouldn't be going along with it. And this is why free speech is so essential, and this is why the federal government, along with AOC, along with the corporate media, have been launching such major attacks against Elon Musk. And this is why they're appointing a new Department of Homeland Security Disinformation Board, Ministry of Truth, who they're alleging won't monitor U.S. citizens, while at the same time they're telling you that there is absolutely no bias when it comes to the individual that has been named to head this government organization, which is an absolute lie. Already, through the start of this, the government is lying through their teeth about what's going to be happening here, about who this person is, what they're going to be doing, and then what did you expect from a government Ministry of Truth where a clear Nina Yankovic is extremely biased, is extremely politically partisan, and even recently just deleted all of her tweets before 2022. Looks like she has something to hide, as of course this administration is running PR and propaganda nonstop, trying to defend their clearly partisan, disgusting, desperate behavior when it comes to the full might of the Department of Homeland Security now tackling domestic information. The censorship, the disinformation that this person previously called for has been proven to be wrong. The government, the corporate media colludes and lies to the American public all the time, whether about mandates, restrictions, lockdowns, wars, banker bailouts, you name it. We have a long history of the government telling you there's WMDs, and that's the truth. The corporate media regurgitating those lies, independent media calling it out and getting censored because of it. The reason we have a lot of bad things in this world is because we have a lot of powerful people that lie. These powerful people are trying to concentrate all of their power so they could lie more to you. And this is why we have a new Ministry of Truth that is absolutely going to be horrendous for the future of online freedom and expression of speech, which of course is going to be tightly controlled by the most insecure, nasty bureaucrats out there who of course don't want you talking to each other and finding out what's really going on. Now, there are some individuals standing up against this nonsense, like of course Tulsi Gabbard, that just criticized this new Homeland Security Department as a quote dictatorship over the Ministry of Truth. And I have to agree with Tulsi Gabbard's statements there. She of course joins Republican Governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, who publicly announced that you cannot have a Ministry of Truth in this country, specifically saying that the Biden administration will not be getting away with having a disinformation board that will, quote, silence critics. And politically, when it comes to free speech, there's a major fight underway, and there's a coordinated effort in order to try to destroy it. It's also important to note here that Barack Obama, 6 days before the DHS announced this disinformation governance board, called for government to do more when it comes to censoring speech online. The same man who lied, gaslit the American public about his extrajudicial assassinations of American teenagers, American citizens, his secret drone warfare that has been conducted in over 7 countries, his spying on every detail of the American public. And when we look at the larger disinformation problem, it's a problem of government lying to its public, lying to its constituents, and almost every aspect that the government presents to you is usually just an outright lie. And I'm sorry, I don't believe liars. Sorry, I don't believe people who clearly represent special corporate international banking interests and not the will of the American people. There have been many scientific studies clearly showing how popular policies never get passed. The policies of special interest, lobbyist groups, of the 0.01%, those policies always get passed in favor of the very powerful, and of course with everyone else getting totally screwed over. That should be the pure definition of government. And if you're thinking government could solve this government problem, you're absolutely delusional. And this is why, from my perspective, personal responsibility, being smart, having discernment, using critical thinking skills is more important than ever. And if you thought I helped you do that and provided you a perspective that you might not get on, of course, the corporate media, share this video with your friends and family members. It is more imperative than ever while we still can, as of course there's going to be a lot of dramatic changes happening in the online media space very soon. There's a big fight underway. That fight involves you. You are taking part of it, whether you like it or not. What you click, what you like, what you share, what you watch absolutely matters. You are voting with your clicks, and the more you do that, the better chance we have of actually being free as a society, which starts us just being able to discuss ideas. That's all we want. We want a free, open, and honest conversation, and they are deathly afraid of that for a very specific reason, because when you start talking freely, you find the truth, and when you find the truth, you find the people that were lying to you for a very long time, and they don't want you finding them out. But again, all of this could change with just your participation, and that's why sharing this video is more important than ever. I did another video surrounding very similar topics on a broader perspective, which you could watch here by clicking the link right now. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you watching, sharing these videos, buying the shirts, getting this information out there to the general public. And because you do, this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for a lot more here on wearechange.org.